Hey, what's up, Great Britain? I have so many things to say to you all. There's so many things I like about Britain. One of my favorite things is their very profuse use of the word cunt. It is one of my favorite... What?
Nothing.
No, the Brits they've made an art form of the C word. We have to say the C word over here like it's the N word. We got to be really careful with it around here, you know. But over in Britain, you could say, like if somebody's being kind of a wussy, or whatever. Anyways, I just there's something I love about a country that has integrated the C word into the daily vernacular at work. It just tickles me to the bone.
It sounds more charming when they say it though, because it's kunt.
Kunt.
Yeah.
Don't be such a fucking cunt. There's just something great about it. It's the way they use it. But when we use it here, oh man, let me tell you guys, it's the N word for ladies. It is, it really is. Okay, well, sorry about that, Heinnie Haynes. That's how we open up here. Guys, this is a batch of knives headed off to Heinnie Haynes. And I just want you to know that Heinnie Haynes neither endorses nor condones the use of my language, political views, or crazy American thoughts about things over here. They just happen to like really cool knives, so we just happen to make, we're like two retards in an airport. We make a good couple. We've got actually a really sexy batch of stuff headed out to them. And Amy, are they under like different ownership? Is that what's happened there?
The original Bruce that we met years ago.
Yes, Bruce Bullington.
It's now employee owned, he said.
Oh, okay.
So he stepped away. He's doing his own thing. He kind of interacts a little bit, but their lead guy is now Mark Richmond.
Mark, welcome. And thank you. There's something lovely. Sorry about the Queen. It was going to happen sometime. And sorry about the King. We all knew that was going to happen sometime too. Jesus, that guy. They got a thing out in LA. They can pin back those ears. You guys, I'm a colonial. You gotta forgive me for poking a little fun at the King. Come on, the guy's he's a greenie. All right, let's take a look down at the knives here, Amy. All right, we got a couple of my very first design, TFF1. One of my favorite knives ever. Still make it. It's one of my OG designs, still being made today. Guys, for those of you who aren't used to these, I'm going to call out the finishes. Amy knows the names of some of these finishes better than I do over time.
Well, that's an old school, you can see.
Yeah. I'm going to call out the name of the finish just so that a lot of times you can't tell the difference between black and shiny and video and all the different screens, okay? So we've got a S45VN TFF1 in Vulcan blade finish. Old school tumble handle, black contrast hardware and clip. Black on black, PVD, flame contrast hardware all around the house. Again, another TFF1. Whenever you see the 4, that means S45VM. When you see S, it means S35. This is stained glass in blue, flame contrast hardware, tumble, polished blade, S35VN. Just an awesome knife. This is one of those, got a really organic feel. This design, when you get this knife in your hand, just great working knife. I love it. Marauder H in S45VN. It's got bronze contrast on blue tumbled frame, tumbled blade. Predator, blue anno, as you can see, contrast, raw tie-turned hardware, tumbled blade S45VN. The next Marauder, this is in the uber sexy category. This has got slightly radius handles, really yummy, makes the knife actually feel kind of small in the hand. Black contrast hardware on bronze frame chassis, black blade, S45VN coating on blade. S45VN blade. Next on to 187, tumbled bronze anno, black contrast hardware, black PVD blade in D2. That's an OG steel. Next, S45VN drop point, flat ground. This is a flat ground drop point Praetorian. Many years you guys have seen our hollow ground. This is a flat ground, so part of the new generation of the Praetorian. So flame and bronze chassis, contrast flame hardware and clip, tumble polish S45VN drop point, flat ground blade, flat ground Genesis. And I'm really loving this flat grind. We take it down to a thinner edge instead of 22. We take it down to 15 or 18 thou, pre-sharpened edge. Gives you a little bit of a keener edge, a little bit of a harder working blade geometry. That cross section leaves a little bit more metal in there than the two hollow grinds. So we've got tumbled blue chassis, contrast tie hardware, tumbled blade, tumbled S45VN drop point, flat ground MIDI Marauder in drop point. Slim MIDI in drop point. Now, this has got blue ano clip, or actually it's a flame ano clip, blue ano scale, and what are you calling this thing?
Galaxy.
And it's got the Galaxy spattering on it, so kind of a sexy little broken color of contrast of blue and kind of raw metallic. Sexy, badass. And what are you guys calling this pattern?
Looks like
snake?
It's like
bark?
an elongated dragon skin.
Yeah, okay. So it's got some sculpting on it, all done by hand. All of these little grooves are all done by hand with the edge of the wheel. And then it's been blacked out everywhere. This knife is sexy and understated, really cool. Listen, if any of you know Daniel Craig or whoever's doing the next James Bond movie, this would be a great Bond knife. Since stuff's going to Great Britain. Last one, Micro Praetorian. I forget what this, what do you guys call this?
Braids of glass.
You call it braids of glass?
Blades of grass.
Blades of grass. What did I say?
I did it in reverse to joke.
Oh, braids of glass?
Braids of glass.
Oh, Amy, okay, listen, guys, that was not me making a funny Asian.
I didn't do that.
Plenty.
I just twisted the words around.
That was just a mistake. That wasn't like the shirt. It wasn't anything like that. Don't be off put by that. I know there's a lot of Chinamen over in England or Great Britain. I don't know. I don't think we could say Chinaman anymore. Chinaman seems like the best name for anyone ever. He's a Chinaman. Like we're all he's a white man. So he's a black man. He's a Chinaman. Seems like it makes sense to me. I had a Chinese person tell me Chinaman was like the N-word for Chinese people, and I go, I don't know what to fucking call anybody anymore. So until 30 or 40 Chinese people work for me, and they aren't ripping off every fucking design I make, stealing from my intellectual property, and screwing over the employees and citizens of this country, I'm going to call them Chinamen. This is Braids of Grass.
What a can of worms did I open?
Blades of Grass, you guys, on a ano chassis, flame contrast hardware, Vulcan S45VN blade. This is a hand ground hollow Tonto drop point Tonto Micro Praetorian. All right, some of these other things headed off now because you guys have lost your mind. It's time for a revolution. You guys missed the boat. So in 1783, when we declared it in 76, you guys should have jumped on board for the big win. I know within a few years of us doing it over here, they kicked the Frenchies out, killed kit and caboodle, and sent the fleur-de-lis off to the, had them take a long walk down a short pier. You guys should do the same thing, or just call them like, don't call them Royals, call them Regals. And I don't know, maybe you've got them cordoned off. It's the House of Lords and the House of Commons. Too many thumbs on you people. Too much. The new world was, there was too much bureaucracy and too many rules. And we just said, you know what? Fucking enough. They're going to regulate what God you pray to. They're going to regulate what you can say. And they're doing it again now. So I'm all in favor of a big revolution. I'm all in favor of you having skin in the game, and I'm all in favor of burning everything to the ground and starting over again. I really am. But for those of you who are going to negotiate the prickly and tricky waters of communists who want to control you to make it safe for you over there in Brussels, right? Oh, wait a minute. You guys Brexited, right? So maybe you still are attached to them over there. You're like a caboose that's not fully connected to the train of Europe. Or what we should say is the German economy with these subordinate countries. Next, these are knives that are more friendly to the momminess of your country. I say this, I'm an Anglophile. I love Great Britain. My kids are headed over there for the summer with their grandmother. My mom's an Anglophile. All right, let's look at these knives. These are a little friendly. If you were to have one of these in your pocket, these are on the big side. I know for like Europe, these are big manly knives. My normal legacy lineup, those knives are like spooky. They're revolutionary. But these ones now, these next ones we're going to talk about, these are just maybe a little manly. Maybe for somebody who's got a little bunny rabbit heart, maybe their Depends might block the little pee that squirts out of them if you were to open this up in the office. So let's get the camera down on them and check them out real quick here. So this is part of our ASK line, the American Service Knife. Now what's different about these, I know they have a form factor similar to another company that you all know and are familiar with. The deal with these knives is they're made of premium materials, premium construction, and they're modular and customizable. This drop point blade at an 1/8 inch thick of S45 VN steel is as good as any knife of any blade of any high-end knife you're ever going to get anywhere, and you can use it. It has the strength, edge retention, and corrosion resistance properties of the best knives on planet Earth. In addition to that, the tools, whether it's the screwdriver, the scraper, chisel, nail puller, 1/4 inch hex drive, the tools are all of the same quality. Liners are titanium. Back springs, those are all S45 VN. Titanium turned hardware. Injection mold plastic handles. Cool little American messages that are kind of flipping their bird to the king. Now we like, you Brits, and we don't mind the king either. You guys, we've been allies for a long time. But this is a little bit of this like rebel, we're like the Rebel Alliance, okay? This is like a little bit of there's little hidden gems and Easter eggs. This first one is called the Jefferson. The second one in the series is called the Washington, named after George Washington. It's done in a Tonto since a lot of soldiers like a tougher tip, like to do prying and heavier work. It's got a through-looking rangefinder, bottle opener, and an M4 bolt scraper on it. Still all titanium hardware ever. You can see real positive half stop, great action. And a wonderful form factor that can be expanded to 3 layers or collapsed to 1 in an OD green. Let's move on to the third in the series, which is the Ironsides, named after the USS Constitution, which is really instrumental in the pirate wars along the Barbary Coast that consequently freed Christian slaves who had been held prisoner for hundreds of years all across North Africa by the pirates of Tripoli and other little petty potentates, to which the kings of England had decided, you know what, no need to get our sons and daughters back. We'll just pay a bribe to these sultans each year, and they'll let most of our shipping go through. And then the sultans, to renegotiate, they kidnap a couple of ships worth of people, collect a few hundred people, and would enslave the white Christian sailors. The king never said, hey, I'll pay my ransom and give me my citizens back. No, they just kept them. They were enslaved, converted to Islam, and then the king would just pay more money each year. So we just figured this out, because we got our independence from Great Britain. We no longer flew a British flag on our ships, and our ships were being seized. So as Americans were being taken prisoner and put into slavery in North Africa, Thomas Jefferson's administration sent ships to liberate them, the Barbary Pirate Wars, and a young second lieutenant from the United States Marine Corps gathered up some mercenaries, marched across North Africa, and started fucking killing people, and said, you know what he said? Let my people go. Let my people go. Which was quoted hundreds of years later by Martin Luther King. How awesome is that? This is going to really ruffle some feathers. But you know what? Let's just have a little fun.
Quit bringing up like real history, would you? Stop it.
I know, this real history is so weird for
crazy.
people. Yeah, it's nutty. Anyway, who said let my people go? Maybe that was Moses. Maybe it was Moses who said let my people go. Might not have been Martin Luther King. I want to get my facts right. You guys, these are S45 VN tools, blades, and so forth. The Ironsides, named for the USS Constitution, which was a Christian slave liberating ship. Still, it's the oldest ship in continuous service in the United States. It sits in Boston Harbor. We actually have a stand of woods in Virginia owned by the U.S. Navy for growing wood, just for keeping that ship in service. Gets restored every 50 years or so. This is named after that with a naval blue on the exterior. This is Canton, American flag Canton blue. It's got a quarter turn from the Zeus fasteners used on aircraft and boats worldwide. Quarter turn, 3/8, a quarter turn, and a 3/16 hex drive. It's got a 6, which is a kind of great mariner's blade from Northern Europe. Great utility for being at sea and elsewhere. Also great for plunging into the neck of somebody. And then your classic bottle opener for a bottle of some sort of suds you might pick up after sailing. The Ironsides. Next is the Alcacay, named after a Congressional Medal of Honor winning Native American from Arizona who got his Congressional Medal of Honor during the Geronimo campaign, during the Indian Wars of early America. And he was just a noble guy, and he was from my home state, and we thought we would name a knife after him. We did it in high-vis orange, so when you're camping or at night, you maybe don't leave it behind or can spot it on the ground. It's got a stitching all in it, bottle opener, and our really nice fieldcraft-oriented Warncliffe style blade. Flat ground, lovely polish, great steel, best materials, wonderful product. You can, if you get any one of these knives, swap the tools, swap the blades, buy extra parts. You can get a Union Jack if you'd like, or you can get a Ultex scale, or you can get any one of a variety of different colors of scales that we make, and you can get them custom done and printed and so forth. Sports fans, that's the show for today. Knives, a little bit of entertainment, a little bit of history, a little bit of fly in the soup, poking fun at the world. I actually think it's the post-apocalyptic times. It's all shit, and I'm waiting for smoke on the horizon. I will be ready. I'll be holding an M4, a knife in the reverse position, and I'll have me and mine behind me, protected by my mask. You should do the same. Get a knife, be ready. I'm out.